Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth to Sexual Enemy. Hey, we are continuing our discussion on habits that will help us achieve focus. We ended yesterday on thinking on high concepts because the things that you think on regularly affect your mind. If you think on high concept things that are high in moral value, things that have some form of logic, things that are virtuous, things that are truthful, things that are really grand. If you are thinking on grand things, if you are thinking on righteous things, holy things, pure things, your mind begins to take on the temperament of those things. So this is why we say, think on things that are grand, not things that are ordinary, not things that are mundane. Think about, things are hard, people are not truthful, people are negative, people are liars, people are backbiters, people are backstabbers. When you think along these lines, you are thinking on the failures of humanity. You are thinking on weaknesses of humanity. Therefore, your mind is under compulsion to manifest these things to you. Then that becomes your nature, because your mind acquires the hues, it acquires the colors, it acquires the texture of the things that you allow it to do it on. This is why I say think on grand things. That's on that side. The second part is this: when you are alone, when you are not occupied with anything that important, my friend, sing. Singing is a very powerful way of tuning the mind in line with higher ideals. Singing is a beauty. When you're washing, when you're cooking, when you are doing anything that does not require your 100% mental faculties to be involved, sing. You can sing out loud. It will not be proper for you to disturb people with your singing, but you can sing. Whether you know how to sing, you don't know how to sing, everybody can sing. So just sing. It will expand your heart. The next thing is you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to disturb people. You can sing mentally, you can sing in your heart, you can hum, okay? You can do that. Then listening to music is another thing, but listen, whether you sing or you listen to music, the content of the music, the lyrics also counts. If you are singing songs that have certain orientation, you will find your mind tilting towards those areas and you thinking around those areas. So decide what you want to do, okay? But sing, keep your mind occupied and focus on one thing at a time. The next I want to say is that, have you ever picked something, let's say time? You're looking at the time, then you drop the watch and you are still not able to remember the time. If you're able to be in that state before, or you have decided to go and pick up something somewhere, in the car, in the room, in your office somewhere, and you move out, then the next thing you realize that you get to that place, you can't remember what you came for. What is happening here is that you think it's your memory. No, it is not your memory per se. What is actually happening here is that you are not focused. You have 1,001 things that your mind is just moving from. It's just moving from one. It's just like you having a buffet on the table, and your mind is picking one, just picking from everywhere. And then you ask yourself, where did I start from? You look at your plate to be sure what you have put there. That is how it works. If you allow your mind to be untamed, to be wild, it will go from place. What do you call a wild mind anyway? It is a mind that is not under the control of its owner. A mind that has a mind of its own, so to say. It goes wherever it wants. It seeks no permission. Now you have to teach your mind to take permission from you before it does anything, before it goes anywhere. That's what we are talking about. So, hold your thoughts. Hold it and dwell on it. Don't just let a thought come in. Your mind should not become a bus park. It shouldn't be a terminus where things come and go from like that. No. Anything that comes in should be something that gets to the spider's web. If it gets in, it is trapped. That is it. Trap thoughts. Trap whatever you want to do. If you want to check time, tell yourself, I want to check the time right now. Remember this. You pick the time and look at it. Okay, I have checked the time. It is this o'clock. and then you continue whatever you're doing. Don't want to check time in the midst of busy mental schedules. No. Don't want to do it. If you want to go and pick something in an office, in a place, in a room, wherever, sit down, tell yourself, or you don't have to sit down. Just tell yourself, I am going to pick a pen at a pen shop. Keep that in memory. We're doing it now. And you move. Now, by these actions, you are holding the mind down and giving it instructions on what to do. And please, when you instruct the mind, when you tell the mind, when you program the mind to do things at a certain time, please do them. You need to keep having the trust of your mind. Your mind should be able to rely on you, that when you say you are going to do X, you're actually doing that X. When you say you want to do something else, do it. Don't waver and go into something else. Be focused. Be on the path of your being. Be on the path of your intention. Be on the path of whatever it is you want to achieve. Stay on it. Keep mind on it. That way, mind will get to trust you better. That's very key. So what we'll just talk about now is practice thinking on one idea at a time. Think on one thing at a time. Don't pack so many things together. You think of this, you think of that. There are some thoughts that have a kind of chain. They have a link. That's okay. You can move from one segment of that thought to the other, but exhaust every segment. Dwell on it, and then consciously move. Don't let the mind be the one that will take you on the thought trip. Don't be the tour guide of your mind. So take it on excursions, on thoughts, on ideas. But mind you again, do not just pick thought and start using them. Use thoughts that are congruent with your goals, with your desires. If you have any desire at all, it doesn't matter whether the world sees desire as a bad desire or a negative desire, as long as it is a desire that you have chosen to pursue, then stick with it and be intentional about it and be positive about it and push. It is very important because mind needs to be sure that their commander-in-chief is reliable. Once you can prove reliability to mind, every other thing is easy. So focus and think intentionally. Now, we are coming to the main one. You know, before this time, I have been giving some instructions on TRATAC. That is, those exercises on color. I've done up to light blue to the heart region. What is left is the throat and the ajna chakra region. I will handle that. When people begin to follow the exercises, I will continue. But that is another one. That is a major exercise on achieving focus. But this is another thing. Without the color type, you can actually stay in your room, for instance, or in an office, wherever you are, wherever you go. Try to look at things around you and stop on each item. Memorize it. You are in a room, you see a painting, you look at the painting, look at every segment. Don't look at it like this. No, look at it with focal point intention. Look at these things, mark it. Oh, that's a flower, beautiful flower. Think on it. Dwell on that thought. Stay on it till you are okay. Move to the next one. That is how to direct mind. So that when you do that, mind no longer runs over the place. When you are holding a cup of water, you hold the water, look in the water. Have you ever thought about water? What water is? What is the color of water? What is the shape of water? What is the nature of water? These are the ways you live your life. You don't just take things and just toss them into your mouth. Dwell on them. Look at them. You see, when you want to eat, I did a video some time back on eating, how to really eat. You don't just take food and be eating absent-mindedly. You are as good as taking in poison. When I mean poison, things that are not intended for your system, you take them inadvertently because you are eating accidentally. You are not eating intentionally. So when you are eating, focus on the food, focus on the taste, focus on the texture. Be aware of what you're eating. If you can't do that, go into a state of gratitude when you are eating. Be grateful for the cook. Be grateful for the farmer. Be grateful for the market woman, the traders, the shops where you got all these things. Be grateful for the businesses that are behind that food. So by doing that, you are intentionally constructing your mental infrastructure along the line of every task that is before you. You are being exclusive at that point in time, because your ability to thus focus is your ability to stay in the present. That is to say, what am I doing now? I am eating, and as I am eating, I am remembering only thoughts that have to do with the food that I'm eating, not on anything else. I'm not going to be thinking about how Chelsea destroyed Man City. Okay, that's not my intention right now, because that is not congruent with the food I'm eating. Learn to be logical. Learn to be causative in your thoughts. Everything you're doing must have a link. You get that? By so doing, you teach your mind not to waver, not to go to other places. So focus is therefore by that process being developed. It may not be easy when you start, but you continue it, you get to do that. You want to sleep, for example. When you want to sleep, how do you sleep? You just hit the sack. You don't even think about sleeping. All right? But what if you began to have thoughts about sleeping? Say, I am going to sleep. Dreams are likely to come. I'm likely to heal. I'm likely to have an experience. You begin to think around those areas. What do you want to have? What is the intention behind your sleep? You don't just sleep because it is natural to sleep when the time to sleep comes. No. Create an intention for your sleep. And think about it. I want to replace a negative habit with a positive one. What is the negative habit you want to replace? This. What is the positive one you want to put in its place? This. Dwell on that positive habit. As you are dwelling on it, you can be affirming it, and then you go to sleep on it. It will work. Don't sleep accidentally. Sleep strategically. Plan your life. That is the purpose of focus. Then, I say, then we have come to the, according to that comedian, what is his name? I really don't know. The Oga Patapata of them all. The general overseer of them all. That exercise that is biggest of them all, which is the primary assignment of our humanity, meditation. Ooh, meditation is the biggest way of creating focus. Some people meditate without focus. They just sit down to meditate, or they lay down to meditate, and they allow their mind to go on a trip. Because when you sit down, you want to be calm, mind protests and wants to go to places, and you release it to go. No. Sit down and tell yourself, today, I want to meditate. What is meditation? People usually say they don't know how to meditate, which is not true. Every single person meditates, just as every one of us focus. But the thing is that we are not focusing on the right things. So also we are not meditating on the right things. We are meditating on our failures, on our weaknesses, on our tasks. I give an example. I am supposed to be meditating right now, but my mind was running about this video. Do this video, do this video, do. I said, if I sit to meditate, my mind is going to distract me a lot. Because he's telling me, there are so many programs ahead of you today. There's so many things you don't do the video, now you go to do anything. Why is the mind asking me to do this video? Initially, mind was not happy to do these videos, but I forced it. That's why I said I will do every single day. Any day I don't do, I try to make it do twice the next day to replace. Mind is saying, okay, this guy is serious about these videos. Therefore, I must allow him go ahead. I must partner with him before he makes my life miserable. And he starts partnering me. Now, I wanted to meditate a few minutes ago, and he's telling me video. I said, why? I can do meditation, and then later said, no, you have this task today, you have this task tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, you are leaving home as early as 5 a.m. You need to edit this video before, it should be ready before 10. You put it on, and then you can go to bed early so you can sleep. He was giving me logical reasons why I should do the video. Well, I was buying the reasons he was giving me. So I said, instead of me sitting down, trying to meditate, and my mind is about video. My mind is about job, things to do tomorrow. I just said, okay, let me do this video and give mind his due. That's why I'm here. And it's working. You can see when I started the video, there was power cut instantly. I had to rely on the lights. So you can see the background is dark, but it doesn't matter. I had to do it. What I'm trying to say is that Partner with your mind. If you really want to control things, it is not every time you control. There are times you let control go. And the times you let control go are sometimes the best moment of control, because you are giving the due to members of your mental system. Let them also have a say once in a while. When they realize that you are not all about yourself, they will learn to trust you. Treat them like human beings, distant human beings. That's who they are. The ego and the intellect, they are your friends. Befriend them. There are things they don't want to do, higher ideas, they resist them, force them. When you keep doing that, they will follow over time. They become partners that remind you when you are defaulting. This is how it goes. You treat meditation that same way. You must remove all the obstacles around meditation and focus one-pointedly on what? Nothing. I repeat, on nothing. They say meditate on this thought. You can contemplate. You sit down, like I talked about, high concept. That's contemplation. You can contemplate on high concept. You can contemplate on things you've read in a book. You can contemplate. That's a contemplation on its own. That's not meditation. Contemplation means that you are focusing your attention laser pointedly on ideas, on things. But when it comes to meditation, it's a completely different thing altogether. You are focusing your attention on nothingness. Nothing. It is not the time to start saying, how is this thing like this? No, you just sit down. Or if you are lying down, but I prefer you sit down. Or my masters, all they do is say, sit down. Because when you lay down, you are punching buttons that are saying, time to sleep. Memory sees it as sleep time. So you will sleep. Except you are very disciplined on that. So, yoga, part of them all is what we are talking about now, meditation. You sit down. You can take some deep breaths to prepare yourself for the moment. And then you shut your eyes lightly, as if you were going to bed, and let go. Don't think about anything. But I tell you what, mind is going to try to think about things. Don't follow it. Mind will bring ideas to you, bring thoughts to you. Don't follow the mind. Just ignore it. Mind can travel far away, bring the mind back to come to the moment. Just stay there. Don't think. Don't talk. Don't pray. It's not the time to pray. It's not the time to think. But meditation is the highest form of prayer, in the sense that you sit at the threshold of eternity and wait. Because you understand that your life is an idea of the divine. And you are standing before the divine and saying, here is your idea. What do you want with it? What is your plan for this idea? That's what you are actually doing in your silence. It is faith. People of faith are the people that meditate. You're saying, people are saying, this time you want to waste 1 hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes just doing nothing. Yes. That's because you have faith. You trust existence. That this silent moment, they are taking note of you. It's like standing at the door of your father and you are knocking. And he opens the door. He's looking at you, you're looking at him. That's all. In this context, it's just not your ordinary father. You are looking at him. As you focus your attention on him, like this hymn writer said, keep your eyes ever on Christ. Look into his wonderful face. And the things of this world will go strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. That's the beautiful hymn. So this is what you do in meditation. Just sit there, silent, eyes shut, no ideas, no thought. You are just there, blank. There. That is where great ideas find their way to you. Thank you.